look at the garden. Wow. Here is the first look of our garden in 2021. This is the very beginning, since the snow left. It is very dead and there is not much here. It's hard to believe that this will just be a green jungle in a few months. Yeah, so you can see here that we spread the cow manure that we got last fall on here. It's been sitting on here all winter, soaking into the ground. So I'm gonna have to start pruning my trees and pruning my raspberries and pruning our grapes, and that is what I'm going to be starting today, is pruning our grapes. So let's get started. Alright, welcome to Montana Haven. Today I have Chloe helping me. She's always our little sidekick helper here. And it's a beautiful day. This is one of the nicer days we've had this year. We are just getting out of a really cold snap. We had a very mild winter, and the kids couldn't even sled at all this year, which is very strange, unfortunate for them. But we did have a cold snap in mid-February, and we're now at the end of February. And I'm going to be pruning our grapes today, starting. It's a big project, getting everything pruned. It takes a lot of, I usually work from late afternoons into kind of into the evening till dinner time, so it takes a lot of time, sometimes Saturdays. But we're going to get started this afternoon, but it's just a beautiful day. Blue skies with some clouds. It's probably about 30 degrees right now, but the cold snap that we had was, I think we went around minus 15 below zero, 12 to 15, depends on where we were at. But we're just getting out of that, and I know it's going to go up in the 40 degrees, and I want to get my things pruned. 2 years ago I waited too long, and they just bled and bled and bled, and I'm not an expert pruner, so just from my experience, what I've done, and I've just learned a lot from others, but I'm still in the process of learning. But I'm just going to be taking a lot of these grapes just grow in a big old jungle, and this particular grape bush we planted, I think this one we planted 2 years ago from just a little sprout. The first year it grew a couple feet, the next year it grew what you're seeing here, so it's quite a bit. And so I'm going to clip it back. I'm going to keep two main vines that come up and kind of try to clip everything else off. So I'm hoping I can get this early enough before it starts to bleed. I don't think the sap is still is already going out of it. It's still very dry and it's green, but there's no sap flowing, which is good because of the cold snap, I think. So we'll get them pruned. We're going to get started. So this is not necessarily a tutorial how to prune your branches, your grapes, sorry, but this is just what we're going to do. So we have two main stems coming up, and I'm going to leave those. I have one going this direction and one going this direction, and I'm pretty much going to clip everything else down. It's just been my experience, if you clip them way down, you just get a lot more fruit. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to have to start clipping here, and I don't really like my setup here. This fence actually I put up 15 years ago, and it's starting to rot out. So I'm going to have to change out my fence here, maybe even parts of it this year. So I would like to have these grapes start growing in on a trellis inside here that I'll put up. But for right now, they're wrapped around here, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. So that's the way it works. Now grapes grow really super fast, so you can clip a lot back and you're still going to get tremendous growth. Matter of fact, through the growing season, you almost need to work on clipping them back because they literally get out of control. And then it just all goes into the plant and not necessarily into the grapes, the fruit. So here's my main trunk coming out of there. So I'm going to come up here, leave like 6 inches to a foot. I'm going to clip that, then get rid of the rest of it out here. And some of you might be excellent at this, and you can let me know if I'm doing it wrong. I'm always looking for advice, but that's kind of what I've learned and what I've found is to go probably bud, get some grapes right there, and right here, and like here and here. And so I'm going to clip just beyond that. And it's still going to grow out and go like another 10 feet if I let it. Okay, just wanted to show you guys how this looks like now. I've got that grapevine trimmed up. There's the next one. I've got that one trimmed up. And this guy here. Got my roses clipped down. Looks so much better along here. This one's trimmed. These roses I trimmed way down. Probably still could thin them out a lot. There I've got that one trimmed down. It's still a beautiful day. Mountains are still beautiful. And I've got everything pulled back here. A lot to do in the garden this year, but this is how much I got done in a little while this afternoon. So now there's some other things we got to get done, so we'll be on our way.
I gotta come out and see what my hubby's doing.
Ah, I see somebody's checking on me.
Wow, babe. Man, that looks great. I love that.
Okay, welcome back. We are now probably about a week later from when I first started filming this. The day after I was clipping, what you just saw, it snowed and it got actually kind of cold. So I hadn't been working out in the garden at all, but this afternoon, it's like 45 degrees or almost 50 degrees, I think. So Ethan and I are working out here, and you'll probably see Chloe running around too. But we're going to finish up the grapes, and then we're going to be maybe working up on the raspberries, or we even have to get to our fruit trees. It's quite late to get to fruit trees, but we just get to it when we can. So that's what we're going to be working on right now. Okay, I have finished clipping this vine now, and I'll be the first one to tell you, and I think I've said this numerous times before, I think gardening is just a great experiment, because you know, you just learn. All the time I'm learning, and pruning is, I think it's an art form. It's a science as well as an art form, and there is so much I don't know about pruning, but I enjoy learning, and each year I prune, I'm like, okay, that kind of worked, that didn't work so well. Okay, Ethan's working on pruning these old canes out of here. So tell me what you're doing, Ethan. How do you know what canes to cut?
The ones that are more gray and they are already clipped on the top. So these ones are from last year. These ones made the raspberries, and then I'm cutting them off.
Yep, so all the old gray ones bore fruit last year, and he's getting rid of those. And then all these tall ones here, we're going to clip these down to maybe about 4 feet in length, and those are going to bear this year. What's funny about this, we didn't even plant any of this row right here. It all grew up from volunteers from this back row. So we just keep pruning it and grows like crazy. We have a lot of raspberries to eat every year, don't we, Chloe? Yeah. All right. Well, what do you say, Chloe? We got a lot done, didn't we? Now, Chloe has been helping me just like a champ. She's really hauled a lot of loads, haven't she? Yep, she's doing a good job. And we got this first row almost done. Well, actually, we got the first row all done. And now we're working on the second row. We're about halfway done on the second row. Ethan and Wyatt were helping, but they had to go finish the chores. So, we've got a little bit more time left, and then we're going to go eat some dinner. Are you hungry, Chloe? Yep. Okay, shall we keep going a little bit longer? Okay. picked up some of Wyatt's help. She was a good helper, never complained. So now it's looking just a lot better. We still have a little bit left on that side to do, but all our grapes are done and 95% of the raspberries are done. Now we got to go to the fruit trees, and those are super important to get those done. So, but that's another day. We just do what we can, and that's all we can do. Okay, we're back out here again, once again, and it is quite a bit later. This is towards the end of March, and we're still pruning. It's not good. But anyways, we got a few more trees to do. We never got quite finished, and so we're just wanting to finish this orchard. A couple more hours probably we can finish everything. But the bigger the trees get, it seems like the harder or the longer it takes to prune them, because there's just so many more branches. So we're continuing to work here. I got Ethan back there helping me right now. Hey, Twilight. How's it going, Ethan?
Good.
So this tree right here has been diseased. It's a plum tree. I think I'm just going to cut it down. We'll plant another one. A lot of years of trying to prune it. It just hasn't produced. So here we go. Kind of sad to cut down a big tree like that you've worked for this long, but it's just not going to do what we need it to. So time to go planting something new. We've got this big pile of raspberry stalks and different things on here that we're going to start a fire and burn it inside here. The ashes are good for the soil. Big pile. I bet you it's going to burn fast and hot. It's such a beautiful day. And check this out. The garlic is starting to grow. So awesome. Little sprigs of garlic growing up there. Well, that fire just burned that up in a couple of minutes. Just boom, and it was gone. It's really hot. So now we got all that good ash there. Okay, all the kiddos helped, and we got all these fruit trees pruned. They're looking a lot better than they were, for sure. So hopefully we'll get a good crop this year.